is up, PokeMoshPit? This is GT. I am the tie, bringing you guys another narrated Wi-Fi battle today against JackieChun82. Match came right down to the wire. I definitely suggest you guys go check out his channel. He's probably my favorite narrator at the moment. Really undersubbed. Link to his channel will obviously be in the description below. Match came right down to the wire. Last play of the game. Without further ado, let's get right on into the action. I'm leading off with a Gengar. He's leading off with an Uxie. I should like the matchup, but I don't. Mainly because I know that Uxies can take a hit from a Gengar and then can U-turn out, break my sash, and then I can get pursuit trapped. In both regards, if he goes for the T-wave, if he's slower than me, he can tank the hit and then U-turn for break my sash, or if he's Scarf, he'll U-turn right out. He'll U-turn outright. So he goes for the U-turn right away. I imagine he'd probably choice Scarf. So in comes a Heatran. I can't threaten with a one-hit KO with a T-bolt, even though I am Spect. So I have to go back out into Gengar. Hopefully he does go for the Earth Power, but he chooses to go for the Fire Blast, which is a great play on his part. He's going to knock me down on my Focus Sash, and at this point I'm going to see the Life Orb recoil on the Heatran, and that's very good. That means that half my team is able to outspeed the Heatran, including my Infernape. I am fearing that he's going to switch out into Uxie in that scenario to just kill me off with a U-turn, predicting a Focus Blast. So I go for the Destiny Bond, and comes the Sizor. Kind of works out the same way because of priority, but he completely forgets the Destiny Bond is lingering, and he goes for the U-turn. First of all, he outsped me, so he's running a choice Scarf Sizor, so that was really cool. But unfortunately for him, I'm able to take out his Sizor with the Destiny Bond, and down goes my Gengar. We have ourselves a 5-on-5 matchup now. Now I'm thinking he's going to go back out into Uxie, so I'm going to go ahead and go back out into my Jolteon, and I'm going to go ahead and go for the T-Bolt. I know that since he's probably not packing the leftovers, because I saw him go for the U-turn first, I'm assuming that he choice Scarf. I can freely go for the T-Bolt, and then I can go ahead switch out on this turn because I'm predicting he's going to want to save his Uxie because that's going to be a clean 2-hit KO. I'm going to go into my Tangrowth predicting a ground type to come out, and comes a Quagsire, and I'm like, wow, that could not have worked out more perfectly, right? So I'm obviously I could go for the Power Whip, but I figure he's probably going to switch, so I'm going to go ahead and go for the Leech Seed predicting a switch. In comes the Uxie though, and obviously at this point I don't know what he wants to do. At that point I was still assuming that he was Scarfed, so I'm going to go ahead go for the Sleep Powder because I figure at the very least I can get the Sleep Powder on him, and at least I don't surrender initiative if he does go for the U-turn. But he actually U-turns out, and he goes out into a Heatran, and that could not have worked out more perfectly. I can get the Sleep Powder on this guy. He can no longer leave Heatran shaped holes in my team, but I missed my Sleep Powder. You have to be kidding me. So now I'm sitting here and I'm like, crap. I have no one to really take a Fire Blast on this team because I don't have a dedicated special wall with these guys, so I have to go into Empoleon. But he goes for the Taunt, and I was not expecting a free switch at all. That worked out so well for me. I was thinking he'd go into Quagsire, but I didn't want to over-predict in that scenario. I just go for the Hydro Pump because I know that I threaten the Quagsire out regardless anyway. And he goes for the Grass Knot. I go for the Grass Knot. He goes into Uxie Scouting, which is a great play on his part. I decided to set up my rocks because I know that the taunt wore off by now. And then he puts a T-Wave on me, which is actually pretty bad in the long haul for me, even though Empoleon isn't particularly fast. Mainly because I'm going to start getting Parahacks. Not just once, and not twice, and not 3 times, about 4 times or so in a row. So I'm going to get paralyzed. This is the 2nd time now. And he's going to go for a Psychic. I think I'm finally not going to get paralyzed right now, and I am going to go for the Hydro Pump, and I'm going to miss. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I feel like Hornjo has better accuracy than Hydro Pump sometimes, but I'm going to go ahead and go for the Hydro Pump. I'm finally able to hit him. Finally able to take down the Uxie from that range, and at this point I'm trying to decide what he might want to go into. Obviously at this point Empoleon's not too useful because that means now he's hitting at half health as opposed to full health because of all that Parahacks. He can no longer threaten out the Quagsire with a Grass Knot regardless, so he goes into a Rachi. I don't want to get hit by a T-Bolt because I still think he's good fodder in case I need him for Heatran later. So in comes an Infernape against the Jirachi. Obviously I want to threaten him out immediately because I was assuming he might be a Calm Mindset, but I'm going to go for the Overheat as he goes into a Dragonite, and this is going to do a lot of damage to the Dragonite. It's going to do a little bit more than half. And at this point, he does have the Wish lingering in the air, so this puts me in a tough spot. I'm at -2 special attack. Overheat was the strongest move that I could possibly throw at it, and I do not have Stone Edge. Unfortunately for him, he thinks that I do have Stone Edge, so he's scouting for it. He's going to go out into Rachi now, and I'm going to go for the U-turn because I figured the best option that I had was to U-turn out. I'm trying to threaten out the Dragonite that way. A DD Dragonite really does threaten this team quite a bit, but he goes out into Rachi. I decided my best option is to go into Tangrowth in this scenario because I can hit him with a Sleep Powder and get the Leech Seed on him, and I can use that residual damage that I recover from the Leech Seed to get to recover the stuff off of Infernape because of the Stealth Rock damage, a Life Orb recoil, things like that. But he can throw a Wish in the air, hoping to use Jirachi as Sleep Powder. That way he can pass a Wish, and it doesn't work out that way. I missed the Sleep Powder, so my bad luck turns into his bad luck. He has to keep his Rachi in now. He does not want the Dragonite or the Heatran to get put to sleep, so he has to leave the Rachi in, even though he doesn't want to. And I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a Sleep Powder now. So that's basically a waste of a perfectly good wish for him. So that was actually a little bit of hacks that didn't work out for me, that didn't work out for him. So now I'm sitting here at about half health. I do want to get the leech seed on him because I do want to be able to tank a hit from that Dragonite later on in the game in case he doesn't have a dance sub. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the leech seed, and I'm going to get some recovery off. And at this point, I'm debating what I want to do. I figured that now is probably a really good time to go into Infernape. He might want to try to burn another turn of sleep. And that also means that I can threaten him out with the overheat, but he switches out into Heatran, hoping to scare away the Tangrowth immediately. So I got the better end of that switch, obviously, because he's Life Orb. He's going to be forced to switch because I outspeed him, and I'm not going to overpredict in this scenario. I'm going to go straight for the close combat as he switches into his Jirachi, and I'm going to be looking at the damage, and obviously that does quite a bit more than half. So now I'm sitting here, even after the leftover recovery, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to take him out. So I feel pretty comfortable just staying in. I do not want to go for the overheat though, because if I get to -2 on the special attack, then I do give the Dragonite a safe switch because he knows that I no longer have Stone Edge. So I don't want that to happen, because basically it forces a switch on my end, a free dance, and after one dance, Dragonite really does threaten my team. So in comes the Dragonite. Obviously, at this point, I don't want to give him a free dance, so I'm just going to go for the overheat in case he tries to set up on me. But he chooses this opportunity, goes straight for the extreme speed, so great play on his part. Down goes my Infernape, but obviously he is still sitting at neutral, whatever speed he's sitting at right now, so I know that Jolteon can outspeed him. I'm going to go into Jolteon now, threaten him out with either a T-Bolt or a Shadow Ball. I didn't know what I wanted to go for in case he went out into Quagsire or Heatran. Unfortunately, I predicted wrong. I go T-Bolt and he goes into a Quagsire, and obviously I'm specced because I'm locked into a move. I have to switch. I go into my Tangrowth, and he makes another great play. He goes straight for the Toxic. I was kind of worried he was going to do that, but I wanted to go into Empoleon, but I really thought he was going to go straight for the Earthquake at that point. So he's playing himself right back into the match. Now my Tangrowth is Toxic Poison. He's not going to be able to sit around, and I'm thinking, I don't know what he wants to have put to sleep, but I feel like Quagsire, if I can get the Sleep Powder on him, I can eventually 2-hit KO him with something, so that's still pretty useful in my mind. And obviously I'm thinking he's going to use the Quagsire's Sleep Fodder, so I'm going to go for the Leech Seed, predicting a switch out into Dragonite or Heatran. But unfortunately for me, he stays in, and I wasn't expecting that at all. So now I'm thinking, if he's going to fodder out his Quagsire, and now's the perfect time to go for a Power Whip, but he chooses this time to go into Heatran, so that's a great play again. And obviously at this point, I don't know if I threaten out the Tangrowth with the, if I threaten out Quagsire with the Tangrowth, I'm pretty sure Tangrowth still has a chance to outspeed the Quagsire. I know that Empoleon does not though, so Empoleon is the most useless guy on my team. I'm going to use him as fodder for the Fire Blast, but he misses the Fire Blast, and now he's fearing an Aqua Jet, so he's going to go out into Quagsire, and I just clicked on Grass Knot because I just wanted to see if I could catch a Quagsire on the switch because I really wanted to get some damage on this guy, but I get paralyzed again. That T-Wave worked out so well for him all match. He's able to hit me with an Earthquake, knock out my Empoleon, and this puts me in a really tough spot. I know the Quagsire is sitting at full HP, and I know that I can't set up my Dragonite safely because he probably has an Ice move on his guy, so I have to get some damage on him. I have to go into Tangrowth, and I cannot overpredict anymore. I have to go for the Power Whip. Thankfully, he does not realize how important his Quagsire was to stopping the guy that I have not revealed on my team yet, so he lets his Quagsire die, which is so huge for me. So now I have a Tangrowth, I have a Jolteon, and I have a Dragonite that I haven't revealed yet. He has a Dragonite and a Heatran remaining, I believe, so he's going to take this opportunity and go out into his Heatran now. Obviously, at this point, I don't want to send in anybody on a potential Fire Blast at this point, so I'm going to go just stay in, go for the Power Whip. He actually goes Taunt, that way I don't go for the Sleep Powder or something like that. But or maybe I'm predicting another switch to a setup person or something along those lines. But thankfully at this point, he's going to go ahead, finish me off with an Earth Power, even though it's not very effective. It's still going to be able to take me out, especially factoring in the Toxic Orb or the Toxic damage. So at this point, it's a 2v2 matchup. I'm going to go into Jolteon. I'm going to go ahead and go for the T-Bolt. I know that Dragonite and Heatran cannot take a T-Bolt, so he does not have a safe switch. He has to leave his Heatran in as fodder. And that's going to take him down to his last guy. I don't know if the extreme speed, factoring in the Life Orb, is going to be able to take me out, but I know that if I switch out, it will be able to. So I'm going to stay in. He's going to hit me with an extreme speed, and that is going to be able to take me out. I was kind of hoping that Life Orb Recoil would have finished him off right now, because I don't know what type of Dragonite he's running, but he's running Jolly Max Speed. I'm running Jolly Max Speed as well, so we got ourselves a speed tie to end the game. I'm going to go into my Dragonite, and if he wins the speed tie, he takes me out. He dies to Life Orb Recoil. We have ourselves a tie game. And if I win the speed tie, then I win the match outright, and I win the speed tie. Amazing game, Chun. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Definitely feel free to click the like button if you did, and please go check out his channel. He is an amazing YouTuber, very undersubbed, an amazing battle. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and yeah, I'll catch you guys another time. Bye.